No, I can see this, but I think the argument ultimately comes back to fiat and the current riba system, and this is, I mean, I think scholars are grasping at straws, trying to find reasons why they would say that Bitcoin is problematic from a Sharia perspective, while really avoiding the very blatantly obvious problems
Yes,
with
yes.
riba money. And this is, of course, I mean, this is political, of course, because like in Muslim countries, you don't get to be a religious authority if you go on TV and tell people, hey, you need to dump your governmental shitcoin and not play these central bank games.
Yep, Sheikh Saif has hit the nail on the head. We have a million and one ums and oohs and buts and if and who is Satoshi and how do you know and might be backdoors and blah blah blah. When we clearly have a system of haram, outright haram, one of the worst forms of haram, riba system functioning, and no one says a thing. And in fact, some even say Bitcoin is haram because it actually combats and prevents that system. So that is the point that we should begin with in discussing Bitcoin. We don't look at Bitcoin in isolation. We have to look at Bitcoin inclusion of what we have. We have Bitcoin as a system, and we have our current system. Which one should we use? Shaykh Tarek himself said, it may even be the less of two evils. So even if we have the ahs and the ums and the buts and this and that, but is it better than fiat? Yes, it is. Is it verifiably better than fiat? Yes, it is. We can verify it. It's not even debatable. It's known. Why else are the governments trying to make their own CBDCs, central bank digital currency? They're trying to compete with Bitcoin. They wouldn't do that if Bitcoin was inferior. They would say, oh, Bitcoin, nonsense. The fact that they are trying to mimic Bitcoin and imitate Bitcoin shows that they recognize Bitcoin as superior. So let's see how Sheikh Tariq replies.
So all over the Islamic world, modern banks operate, and they operate the system. And a lot of sheikhs have admitted that, look, this is just the way that the world works, and you you have to play along with it. And so it's quite common in many Muslim countries that the sheikhs have said that if you don't do this, you're harming yourself, and you would be you're weakening and immiserating yourself, and that's not something that Islam wants from you. So go ahead. And after writing the fiat standard and really looking into how fiat works, I can sort of see the argument for that. I'm not saying it is justified. I don't have the ability to issue
No,
religious edicts, but I'm saying
but it's a pragmatic kind of statement of fact. And
it's a
this is
very
defined
pragmatic
as
statement of fact in the sense
a
that
statement of fact. Yeah, it's not even a judgment; it's just a statement of fact.
So, yeah, I get this approach, this non-combative, non-aggressive approach. People in charge, they use fiat, they have central banks, they issue riba, they force the inhabitants of the land to buy properties and buy cars using riba and to issue credit cards and so on and so forth. And they make scenarios and not scenarios, they make systems and build upon on riba, and they do international trade and commerce based on bonds and whatnot. Everything is built around riba, and this is just how it is. Why are you fighting it, brother? Because it's wrong. I know you have the pragmatic approach, brother. Don't shake the boat. But imagine the Messenger of Allah sallallahu took that approach with Quraysh. Yeah, Tawheed is important and what, but everyone is on shirk, and everyone they bury their daughters alive and they do all this nonsense. It's prevalent in the land. It just is what it is. Can you imagine that being the approach of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu or the Sahaba or the companions? I think we just need to make a stance. Muslims need to make a stance. Shaykh Tarek needs to make a stance. It's quite clear. He's there. He's there, man. He's referencing what the scholars say. He's only defending. I don't believe Shaykh Tarek is actually defending the qawl. He's defending the sheikhs. He's defending the scholars who have this opinion. I don't believe he has that opinion. He's maybe overly cautious. Maybe doesn't want to come out and say something that would undermine what they have said. but I don't believe. Listen to what he's saying, that he actually believes these things. He's just defending and showing their perspective, and even going as far as to justify where they're coming from. And the reason why I reject that is because where they're coming from doesn't add up. It's not reflective of reality. If it was an opinion, if there was two conflicting opinions grounded in reality, then I'll say, yeah, he views the text from this way, he views the text from that way, and it makes sense based on the language, and it facilitates and it allows. I get that. I deal with ikhtilaf all the time in fiqh. But this is not ikhtilaf in fiqh. This is outright nonsense to say that Bitcoin is haram due to a long list of things that are not real or are even applicable to fiat and gold even. It's anyway, Shaykh Tarek, I think it's time. It's time, Sheikh.
I think after writing the fiat standard, I came to this very controversial conclusion that essentially fiat is a tax on being Muslim. Because if you are in a money that is devalued, everybody who engages in lending and borrowing is benefiting from the devaluation of the currency, and everybody who saves is paying for that. So effectively, it's taxing people who don't engage in interest-based lending and rewarding people who do. And I think this has been a massive problem for the Islamic world over the last 100 years because they haven't been able to benefit from the system as much as others have.
Potentially, yes. I mean, and they've sold their resources for this devaluating money. So
exactly. So this is the context from which you need to judge Bitcoin. I think this is instead of getting into the idea of, well, there's all these sci-fi scenarios about what might happen that would ruin the world. The reality is currently you're using dollars or national currencies of Muslim countries that are backed and based on the dollar. You're perpetuating the system and making it stronger by using it. And Bitcoin is an alternative, and it's an alternative where you can, the more you study into it, and this is really the thing, the more you study into it, the more you realize it's different from altcoins, it's different from national currencies. It doesn't have anybody in charge. And of course, I can't guarantee anything. I don't know the future. Nobody knows the future. I can't make a guarantee about Bitcoin being there tomorrow. But the choice you have to make is not between a world of me offering you a world of 100% certainty where Bitcoin is there tomorrow and worth more, or not. The choice is you are going to be using the fiat riba money that is losing value, that is creating all these problems, that is against your religion, or are you going to be using Bitcoin? Now, think about which one has a better chance of maintaining its value over time, and then think about which one is more in accordance with your principles. And then it becomes a fair comparison. I think this is where this is the mental leap that people need to make when understanding it. It's not just we're not looking at a new optional app that we're thinking of. Should I download this app on my phone or not? You already have a very bad app on your phone. You have malware, which is the US dollar. So you can't just say, well, am I downloading this or not? Well, if you download this, you're getting rid of that malware. You can't ignore that out of the cost-benefit analysis.
And that's literally where we're coming from, where we're coming to. But you can't get there if all you see Bitcoin is as a means to get more fiat. If Bitcoin to you is just an investment opportunity to make more money, and when I say more money, I mean more fiat, then you miss this message. The message being, you are swimming in riba. You are living and existing within the riba system. We had for many years we had many years an excuse saying there is no other way, brother. How else can we transact, brother? We can't go back to gold and silver, brother. Fair enough. You had that excuse. But what's your excuse now? You don't need fiat. We actually have a money superior to fiat. Works better than fiat. You can send money across the world instantly. No one can stop you. No one can block you. No one can break it. It's there. It's money is issued fairly through mining. If you want to get some Bitcoin for free, or if you want to earn some Bitcoin, buy a miner or load up your computer and start mining. It's a fair system. It's a functioning system. It's a superior system. There's not even a reason to have to go back to fiat, besides laziness, because you can't be bothered to make an effort. So the question really is, are you really going to fight our only hope right now of escaping the system and actually fight to maintain the current riba system? So the thing is, people say to me, oh brother, are you saying to me that Bitcoin is going to be here forever, and it's the best thing ever, and it's going to succeed. I say to people, look, it's not that it's going to succeed, it's that it must succeed. If Bitcoin doesn't, listen carefully, if Bitcoin doesn't win here, we've got another 5-10 generations of this fiat nonsense. Listen carefully. If Bitcoin does not win here, we've got fiat for the rest of our lives. No other cryptocurrency can succeed where if Bitcoin doesn't succeed, because no other cryptocurrency can achieve what Bitcoin has achieved. Listen carefully. It must win. It has to win. And this is where we all need to make the effort to make it win. That effort means start accepting payment for Bitcoin. Start accepting wages in Bitcoin. Start supporting business that accept Bitcoin. Start making networks of people who do business in Bitcoin. Start pricing your services in Bitcoin. Start building on top of Bitcoin. This is actually how you fight riba. Not by buying shitcoins and going in the market and saying, I'm going to buy a Cardano and Ether and I reckon it's going to go up. That's not how you win here. You win by fighting and destroying the fiat system. So I conclude here by saying, Shaykh Tarek, please remove the shackles of the fatwa of old that hold you back. Open your eyes and embrace what you clearly see as the benefit of Bitcoin. And if you still have doubts about the inner functionings of Bitcoin, you can call out to any one of us Bitcoiners to explain to you how things work and break it down to you. There are many videos out there, Andreas Antonopoulos, others, even myself, have explained exactly how the Bitcoin network functions. Actually play with it. Download the wallet, receive Bitcoin, send Bitcoin, see how it actually functions. Those are the only ways you'll remove these doubts, because these doubts are only based on ignorance. They're not real, genuine doubts. It's not saying, yeah, I know this thing here can be hacked, I'm just waiting for someone to hack it. No. If you actually engage with the Bitcoin network, you will have full confidence that this is really the only system that we have to work with. Don't think of Bitcoin as an investment opportunity. Ignore that nonsense. Come to Bitcoin. Anyway, inshallah, I hope you guys are benefiting from this discussion. And more importantly, check out this full video of this, because the first part really deals with the topic of riba, and there are some gems, there are some real gems in this topic, and you're not really going to grasp the full magnitude of what Bitcoin can offer you unless you fully understand the true depth of how riba is within the fabric of everything around us and how we need to do what we can to remove it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.